This is member-supported KUNV HD2 Las Vegas, a broadcast service of UNLV.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control.
Doing the time war, drinking those moments when the blackness within me and the void to be calling. Yes.
Yes, indeed. It's Time Warp once again. We're just about 30 seconds away from the top of the hour right here on KUNV. And what do we have going on for you? It's going to be Riders on the Storm kicking us in. And then we'll be talking to Same Sex Mary right here with Svetlana and James. They're sitting in the studios waiting in the wings. Definitely the Doors. Riders on the Storm. Right here, KUNV. We're on the campuses of UNLV broadcasting to you. Sitting in the studios with me, of course, is Same Sex Mary. How you doing, folks?
Doing real well.
Hello. I can hear everybody, so I guess the equipment's going on pretty good here. We have James Adam and Stefanova. And how do you pronounce your last name?
Well, Svetlana is my first name.
That's what I said. There it says Stefanova here. Svetlana.
Svetlana Stefanova.
Oh, Stefanova is your last name. Svetlana is your first name.
Yes.
Okay, Svetlana Stefanova. And James Adam from Same Sex Mary.
That's right.
Says that you study music in Las Vegas. And let's see, Svetlana, you moved from Bulgaria.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
How did you get here from Bulgaria?
A plane. That's kind of how Same Sex Mary came about. And we actually ended up, we started the band in Vegas and Boulder City, but ended up driving out to Flagstaff just to play our first show for some reason.
Yeah, all our friends were there, and then
Yeah.
we ended up in Denver and Wisconsin and all those places just by playing with, like, we were on a road trip essentially with our friends, and Svet and I said, well, we're going to bring all of our gear, and we're going to stop at these bars and in the evening, and we're going to play shows.
You know that's called honky tonkin', right?
Yeah. and you know, and so we called up these bars ahead of time, and they helped, you know, set us all up, and, you know, so we played our shows. So really our first shows were all on the road.
It says here that you were a duo to a 5-piece in 2012. Is that about right?
That's about right, yeah. We got the 5-piece together for our first album. Sex Cells was the title. CELLS.
Yeah,
kind
we
of a play on
like
words.
to, you know, continue with the play on words.
So
Well, was it Sex Cells and the second one was Triple X, right?
yeah, and Triple X was just it was kind of the 3 songs that didn't make it onto the first recording that were all recorded during the same studio sessions as our first album, but we couldn't fit them all onto, because we did vinyl for our first record release, so we put it on vinyl, and so you couldn't fit everything on there.
Yeah, couldn't fit more than 40 minutes, so we ended up having to, you know, we put out a little EP with the rest. And now we're about to come out with our second full-length album called The Second Coming.
That's the name of the one that you guys are going to be performing when?
This Saturday, the
July
July
25th.
25th, it's going to be at the Bunkhouse. We're actually planning quite a production out of it. We're doing a kind of a play of sorts. We've teamed up with writer and director Ernie Curcio and a few really great actors that are basically helping us put this together. We are I can't really tell you too much. You have to go and check it out. We're playing our, you know, our live show is always very important to us, and we have a really great 5-piece band right now that we can pull off a lot. and that's kind of
That was the first time I met him, and we were at a party, and I told him we have this idea for this show for our big album release. We wanted to kind of do something theatrical, and he was just completely just all for it. And,
Now, when you say theatrical, you want to combine same-sex marriage with a theatrical performance?
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Mhm.
I know you don't want to get too much into it because you got to go see the show.
Right, yeah.
And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be at the Bunkhouse at what time?
it's gonna
Doors
9
open at 9 o'clock.
Okay, and what's the address of the Bunkhouse?
It's Fremont. It's 11th.
124?
It's 11th
I
Street.
don't know.
11th Street in
Do you
Fremont.
have it? We can
Yeah.
look it up if you need to.
Yeah.
But it's down on Fremont Street.
Yeah,
then,
11th Street.
It's on
it-
11th Street,
right off of
off
Fremont.
Fremont, yeah.
right off of Fremont. Okay.
It's right around the corner from the new record store, 11th Street Records.
Okay. Are you expecting a packed house?
Yes.
Yes.
Get there early, folks. And
Yeah,
doors.
I was right. It's 124 South 11th Street.
Okay, fantastic. So, well, let's see. There's 10 songs on the new album, and the album's called Second Coming. Why Second Coming?
It's the second album.
Yeah, that was. We had a bunch of different. Because we liked the play on words. The first one was Sex Sells, but CELLS, like,
Right.
you know.
Sex Cells.
And then so we were kind of in the studio, and we were all kind of trying to figure out what we were going to call the second album, and I can't even remember a lot, you know. We were trying to think of other play on words and stuff, and our
It wouldn't be you got crucified on the first one, and now you're the
right.
Second Coming.
Well, that's kind of the kind of overall joke was Tyler, our guitarist at the time, and we knew after recording the album he was going to be leaving, and he said, well, why don't we just call it the Second Coming? You guys, you know, there's going to be a new band at the time it gets released, and it was just kind of, everything was just kind of funny. There's, you know, plenty of connotations to it all. You know, it's the second album. There's, you know, there's plenty of jokes in there. So
I love the name. I think the Second Coming is great. There's 10 songs on there. Let me just run down the list real quick. Control, Get High, Don't Wanna Wait, Do No Good, Before I Cheat on You,
that one, you know,
Bleep Word Around,
yeah.
Sex Bruise, Pharmacy Unleashed, Long Goodbyes, written by what's that?
That's Shandell Gleed actually wrote that. She's a good friend of ours who wrote that song. So
Oh, you put this in here specifically. Now, is it because both of you have written all these songs?
not all of them. A couple of them were written by just Svet and I, and then, you know, probably half of them in some way or another were written with members of the band, you know, depending on the times.
At least arranged, yeah. Like we a lot of times we'll come to the band with a song, or James will come to us with a song, and we'll work from there. Yeah.
Some of the songs, like Sex Bruise, was written entirely by the band coming together and like, hey, let's do something
Jamming
together.
on something, and
You know,
Okay.
the title that you can't read out loud, that's another one where we were all, you know, kind of put our thoughts together. Tyler had a lick. We kind of came up with a chord progression as a band to say, oh, let's do this here, let's do that here. So, you know, there's definitely a lot of songs there. I guess I just wanted to, like to make sure that, you know, when you have somebody else's music that you're playing, just to make sure that you're giving them credit. And
yeah, because that's the only cover on there. That's why the Long Goodbyes is a song by Shandell Gleed, really really great songwriter. Friend
Okay.
of ours. Yeah.
I'm anxious to hear some of this. Now, you can go to your website and get these songs now?
Not
Or
yet.
will you have to wait until
On-
the album is released?
We have 2 singles out right now. 2 of the songs, Do No Good and Get High, are up on our Bandcamp, which is samesexmary.bandcamp.com. And you can see all our releases there and stream.
Bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw American Pie or not.
Yeah.
One time at Bandcamp, you know, is that part of it, or is that
That's
just
actually it's a great website. You can stream.
All band, yeah, a lot of bands use
Oh,
it.
it's a website, Bandcamp, and then you can actually stream the
And then
music. down.
yeah, and so it's really great because it kind of sets it up so that you can almost, if you don't have your own website, you can almost set this up as kind of your go-to for a lot of places. We really do try to direct a lot of our attention to Bandcamp because it has all of our music, which you can stream for free. If you like it, you can download it, and I'm not sure what all the costs are on all of it, but you know, if you like it, you can buy it and download it. Right now, our Do No Good is a free single, so you can just download that for free if you want while we're getting ready I believe Tuesday we'll actually have it up streaming. So
Yeah, Tuesday it's going to be streaming with the website punksinvegas.com. They are going to be streaming the full album on Tuesday. And
Why Tuesday?
well, it's kind
Isn't
of
that a little premature from the actual debut on Saturday, or?
I guess historically, the record industry's always released, media content on Tuesdays, but that it literally just changed, I guess, last week where they've moved it to Fridays.
yeah, I assume that's why Punks in Vegas does it on Tuesdays, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But it'll also be a good way to stream the album out there, promote it for a couple of days before the show. So that's just the way they do it, and I like that it's on a Tuesday because, like he said, historically, that's when
Oh, that's way too cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I've got a couple of songs from their older albums. Bad Dreams. Tell me a little bit about Bad Dreams.
Bad Dreams is kind of a funny story. I wrote it. I used to work at an animal hospital, and at the time I was just a kennel worker, and I would be doing the closing duties. So I would be, while I was feeding the dogs and, taking care of them all and making sure they were all taken care of, I would just kind of sing songs to myself, and
Not to the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes a doctor or a technician would overhear me and kind of tease me a little bit, but they all enjoyed it. They were all really supportive of me being a musician, so I would kind of, I kind of was singing the song to myself, kind of in my head and a little out loud, and it was kind of the idea of, you can kind of hear the song.
Let's do this. I want to go ahead and play this, give you guys a break so you can take a drink of water or whatever you may be, but compared to Dreams, Bad Dreams, compared to the album now, The Second Coming, has the music changed? Or is the genre still basically the same and it's just better or increased in popularity or whatever?
I think what you'll probably find is that we actually kind of cover a wide variety of genres and sounds on the albums. And so I think, there's not really another song on that Sex Cells album that sounds like Bad Dreams. And on this next album, there's, maybe a song or two that kind of have it in vein, of the kind of loungy kind of style that you'll hear. But otherwise, there's not really a whole lot of song. There's not really a sound that you'll also hear on the next album. So we kind of like to approach each thing as being, how can we make this song unique and different from, as it's to make it stand alone.
We're not like trying to go for a certain sound with anything. It's just whatever the song, whatever works best for the song. That's the way we take it. This new album is a little bit more kind of on a little bit heavier kind of psychedelic garage rock sounds on some of the songs, but then we do still have like some ballads in there. So it just kind of varies. Also, the first album was primarily songs written by James and I. It was a little bit more folky. We were writing as a duo, so it kind of just built off of that. And now that we had the new album, we had the opportunity to write some of the songs, and work as a full band.
I'm curious. Don't mean to cut you there, but Sex Cells and Triple X, are they two songs or albums?
Albums.
So Sex Cells is an album, a full length LP, and then Triple X is like an EP. It's like a 3-song. So basically, it's almost what you could call like the B-sides or the songs that didn't quite make it on
right.
the album.
Hence, so Second Coming is your second album.
Right.
So Bad Dreams is off the first album.
Correct.
And then, so let's go ahead and take a listen to this real quickly. We'll be right back with Same Sex Mary, and hopefully I can get them to maybe play a little bit for us coming up. So hang tight. Let me see what we got going on here. KUNV. You can check us out at therebelhd2.com and see what's happening right here, listen in on us. You can even take a look at the webcam and say hello to Savannah and James. Close enough. One of these days, I'm going to get it right in about another hour, I think, or something like that. So they're going to do a little bit of song for us, and it's I Don't Want to Wait. And I don't know if it's a cappella or not, but it's you guys are going to do some pretty good. She's got a keyboard with her. He's got the guitar, and I'm pretty much going to say, take it away.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait for you.
Babe, why don't you stay? It'd be easier that way. I'll always be right here for you.
I thought you'd come around, but you're nowhere to be found. I've got no time to waste on you. I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay?
I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay?
I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay? Please stay. I act just like a child. My emotions running wild. All out of my love for you.
See, that's just what you'd say. I'd believe you either way. I've got you figured out. I do. I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay?
I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay?
I don't wanna wait.
Why don't you stay? Please stay.
Fantastic. Woo-hoo!